Welcome back, racing fans! How's it going? It's that time of the week once again where we take a look at the next Formula 1 race. That's right, this weekend the Formula 1 circus is in Bahrain at the Sakhir International Circuit for the second round of the 2019 championship. So let's get to it, shall we? I'm Chip and this is the preview and predictions video for the 2019 Bahrain Grand Prix. Hosting F1 ever since 2004, the Sakhir International Circuit is, unlike Albert Park in Australia, a proper racetrack. Measuring 5.4 kilometers, featuring 15 corners and 57 laps, the Grand Prix of Bahrain will be disputed over a distance of 308 kilometers. Interesting, I know. Although not always presenting brilliant racing, especially in the late V8 era, ever since the hybrid era dawned in 2014, Bahrain was transformed somewhat into one of the greatest Formula 1 circuits. Yes, of course, ditching the sunlight in favor of the floodlights helped somewhat, but it was initially introduced as sort of a gimmick to mark the 10th anniversary of the Grand Prix in 2014. But that gimmick stuck, and you know what? Among the night races of the calendar, next to Singapore and Abu Dhabi, Bahrain truly stands apart. I don't know, maybe because at the Marina Bay and the Yas Marina circuits, the floodlights take the spotlight, if you excuse the pun, away from the racing. Here in Bahrain, the lights don't take anything away from the on-track action. Rather they make it more special, gave it a special sort of vibe. Mainly because the layout of the circuit is very, very good. And speaking of the layout, featuring no less than 4 straights, thus 4 heavy braking zones and a couple of twisty sections, both the lateral forces and the tire stress are quite pronounced here. Add to that an asphalt that's both grippy and abrasive, and we've got a circuit here that's very demanding on the tires. As for the downforce, that's not that important around here. The asphalt provides plenty of grip all by itself. To cope with it, Pirelli nominated the C1, C2 and guess what? C3 compound tires. Which again, just like in Australia, conservative Pirelli. I get why they won't risk a more aggressive selection. The memory of 2013 Silverstone lingers on, but I don't know, I truly do miss a 2 or 3 stop strategy. As we stand, we're looking at the dreaded 1-stop strategy for the entire grid. Hooray! Now, going into this weekend, we have to remember that this is the first proper racetrack of the year. So many things that happened in Australia won't necessarily carry on to Bahrain. With that in mind, let's take a look at the major topics that might just spice up the Grand Prix. Number 1. Can McLaren squeeze into Q3 again and or score points? Make no mistake, Lando Norris did a masterful job last time out around Albert Park. He qualified well into Q3 in a McLaren that's top 12 at best. If anything, his Saturday performance was sort of a double-edged sword because, well, he had to start on softs and after his pit stop he was stuck behind the medium shot drivers, which, well, effectively ruined his race. Let's see if this was just a one-off or are the Papaya team truly on the comeback path. Number 2. A solid race by a midfield team. Apart from McLaren and Williams, every single other team scored points in Australia. But of course, apart from Mercedes and Ferrari, every other team finished with just 1 car in the points. So again, with Bahrain being a more straightforward track, expect some teams to put some distance between themselves and the other competitors. In the midfield, I'd say keep an eye out for Haas and Renault. And of course, of the top 3 teams, Red Bull. Pierre Gasly looking at you. Number 3. At least one Williams car fails to qualify. Okay, it has come down to this. Last time out in Australia, Williams were so off the pace that they genuinely felt like they were in a different category. With the constant development work going on up and down the grid, especially at the front, Williams this year truly are in danger of failing to meet the 107% rule. I set the quali lap slower than 107% of the P1 driver. Maybe not this weekend, although it is a difficult track for them. I don't know. I just don't see both Williams car qualifying for every race this year. Sorry, but I don't. I love Robert Kubica's story to bits, and I wish nothing but the best for George Russell, especially after last year winning the Formula 2 championship. But the car is crap, and the team doesn't know what they're doing. Number 4, some proper overtaking. Yes, this is it, boys and girls. Australia, that was weird. Australia featured more overtakes than the 2018 Grand Prix, but still nowhere near the average of the season. Bahrain is a different animal altogether. With no less than 4 heavy deceleration zones, overtaking around here is not only possible but expected. So let's have it. And number 5, Ferrari. Yep, self-explanatory really. They were crap, and they know it. They were in Australia. Setup issues, unresponsive tires, bumpy track surface, there were many things wrong. So this weekend they have no excuses. Solid race, a thrilling battle for the victory against the Mercs and the Red Bulls. That's what's needed, not only for them, but for the whole of F1 in 2019. Right, with that said, we can't have a Grand Prix without a proper drinking game, can we? Therefore, during the race, take 1 sip for every pit stop, 2 sips for every overtake, and down the drink if we have a new winner in Formula 1. LeClerc, looking at you. And Ferrari, but mainly at you, Charles. Okay, predictions time. Starting from pole position, Sebastian Vettel. Yes, I truly am that confident that Ferrari will turn up as genuine contenders in Bahrain. Because I'm not looking forward to another Mercedes-dominated season. Simple as that. The point for the fastest lap of the race goes to Lewis Hamilton, if his car holds together this time. P10 to P5 at the end of the race. Perez, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, and LeClerc. P4, Max Verstappen. P3, Lewis Hamilton. P2, Valtteri Bottas. And the winner from pole position, Sebastian Vettel. Make it happen, Ferrari, please. It won't be a tragedy if they don't win, but it will feel a bit underwhelming if Mercedes wins again. We shall see. And that's it, those are my predictions for the 2019 Bahrain Grand Prix. Do you agree? Do you think I'm placing way too much confidence on Ferrari? Please let me know in the comment section. Also, your predictions, your thoughts, or any other F1 related question, I'll be more than happy to try and answer it for you. Drop a like if you think I've earned it, maybe even hit that subscribe button as well if you haven't done so already, and yeah, I'll be more than appreciative if you would share this video with a friend. As always, I've been Chip. You can find me on Twitter at chip_dgs and on facebook.com/digital grandstand. Yeah, Bahrain, don't disappoint. Cheers. I'm Chip, and this is the Ever since the new V6 to cope with it